Welcome to this video in which I'm going to be looking at the Keenan Flagler MBA program. So in case you're applying to that program this year, then in this video, if you stay with me till the end, I'm going to take down various aspects of the program, including the most important one: how do you approach the application essays? A couple of things about the school. So the first is, if you see their website, they focus a lot on leadership development, right? And along with that, they have the STAR program, which gives the students real-time access to consulting projects. So I think that has been a theme that Keenan Flagler has been is embodied in the website. So you might want to have a good research on that part. The other thing is there is also a lot of international focus. There is a lot of exchange program with foreign business schools. So in case you want to have more than just one foreign school, you could add. And as I said, the STAR program itself partners with various companies in various regions. So you also have the option to travel. Correct. So leadership and international focus, I would say these are the top two themes that you could look at when you're looking at the program. So coming to the main point, the one that you've been probably worried about the most, we have 3 essays, 1 optional essay as always. My recommendation for the optional essay is try to answer something that you feel is is something that they would be concerned about. I see a lot of people picking topics like, oh, in my second year I got a poor score in a particular subject. Don't worry about those things. If you have a gap in education or employment, or if you have a lower, let's say, IR or AWS score, anything that requires an explanation, do that. Otherwise, don't try to retrofit stories over here. Okay. So that leaves you with really 2 required essays, right? So let's look at the first one. Essay 1 says, please respond to the questions below that will assist us in learning more about you. There are 500 words for it. There are 2 questions really. First one, tell us what your immediate career goals are and how you will benefit personally and professionally from earning an MBA at Keenan Flagler Business School. And here is the second follow-up question for that. As the business world continues to evolve, circumstances can change and guide you in a different direction. Should your goals that you provided above not transpire, what other opportunities would you explore? Great. Standard question on goals, correct? So as I've said in some of the other videos that we have here, so in case you have not checked, you can have a look at the video analysis for some of the other B schools. Career goals essay, I believe, has to be a 3-part story. It cannot just be about what you want to do. You also need to tell them who are you, why are you best equipped to reach that goal. So I would probably not even start by talking about my career goals. Start talking about who am I, where am I. Talk about your career progression, talk about what all you have done, talk about the actual transferable skills that you bring to the table. So that becomes your first paragraph. Then you talk about what is it that you feel at this point in your career, what is it that you foresee, what is it that you want to do. That becomes your goal, right? So from where you are to where you want to be, I think that part has to be connected very well. Once you have done that, the third part, well, how does Keenan Flagler help you get there, right? So it's going to be like 3 parts. Where you are, where you want to go, how will an MBA from Keenan Flagler help you get there? Now, one point over here is it says, how will you benefit personally and professionally? So I think a lot of times we are caught up in talking about the details about the program, saying this course and that elective and this club and, but really MBA is an experience. And many people have graduated from top schools. Many of our students, they come back and they tell me, Arun, this is not what I was expecting, right? I was expecting I would go to college, take a bunch of courses, pass an exam. But the transformation was so immense because of the people around me. So what they are also looking at is how will you leverage the ecosystem? How will you leverage the network? How will you actually utilize the skills and talent of your batchmates, right? That's what they are really looking at. Okay, so make sure you touch upon that part. And of course, you need to tell them your plan B. Okay, couple of things about plan B. Number 1, your plan B cannot be completely different, right? So you could say, I want to be in marketing, you could switch to sales, or from sales you could switch to marketing. Makes sense, right? Because they're kind of complementary skills. Or let's take product management and consulting. To some extent you could say they are kind of skills which require you to be analytical, require you to understand things, be smart, figure out. But I would not pick a goal which is very different. So for example, let's say your plan A is to get into consulting, correct? Your plan B cannot be, let's say, project management, right? So you cannot have two career plans that are completely diverse, completely different from each other, right? So you need to make sure you don't do that. And while you're talking about your plan B, it is important that you kind of say about the bigger picture, about the bigger story, about the larger goal, right? What is it that you eventually want to do in life? And if you could just address this point saying that, look, I can go to my eventual goal through plan A, but I could also go through my eventual goal through plan B, correct? If you're able to kind of make that fit, I think that would be ideal for you as far as this essay is concerned. Right? 500 words, I think you got plenty of words for it. 150 words per paragraph, you have nice 450 words. You have another 50 words to play around with, which you can use for a good, strong start to the essay, or you could use it for the ending, correct? So that's what I would recommend as the structure for this essay. Coming to the next one, the second one, required essay. Again, the UNC Kinnan-Flagler community lives by its core values: excellence, leadership, integrity, community, and teamwork, right? There's a lot of core values. And now you have 250 words. You need to pick one core value that resonates most deeply with you. Identify the most challenging situation that you have encountered and how you responded while upholding that core value. Now, if you look at it, it doesn't matter which core value that you it doesn't matter what core value you pick, right? Sometimes, applicants come and say, would it make sense for me to pick this core value over the other? Doesn't really matter, right? So let's look at it. Excellence, leadership, integrity, community, and teamwork. Now you need to pick one. I would probably try to look at what I have done in my past that best matches with one of these, right? For example, let's take community. Now, if you have been a person who has done something for the community, this would be a great place for you to showcase what you have done, correct? But if you have really not contributed, obviously you should not be picking up that core value, correct? You could also pick stories that are personal. So when it says things like excellence and leadership and integrity, it's not necessary that integrity has to be shown at work. It could even be a personal incident that you want to talk about, right? For example, you can talk about the fact that let's talk about teamwork, right? So you can talk about a particular project, and maybe till that project there was this thing that you felt that you could do it by yourself, but that's the moment which kind of came and hit the hammer on your head, saying if it's not the team, you're going to fail, right? And that's when you realize that one person walking 100 steps is a lot easier. 100 people walking one step each together is actually the harder part. That's what teamwork is, right? So you need to pick something that resonates with one of these, right? So that's what I would say as my feedback on this. So that's where the essays are. We have had a lot of students getting into the school over the last few years. And in case you would like to know how we can help work with you and help you put in a winning application to UNC Kinnan-Flagler, go ahead and let us know. The details are below. We would love to get in touch with you and see how we can make this work together. Thank you.